looked as normal that people would turn up and represent themselves, but
It can happen quite often.
does it?
Yeah.
Okay, when you're ready.
Welcome to the planning committee for Tuesday, the 3rd of February at 7:30. Just to talk about recording, filming and broadcasting, the town council record all public meetings held in the council chamber. Under new legislation, although it's probably not that new anymore, members of the public are able to record, film and broadcast from a designated area. So please be aware that the meeting may be recorded and might be filmed or broadcast by anyone other than ourselves as well. Right, any apologies for absence?
No, we're all present and correct, although we have Councillor Fiona Gaskell and Councillor Nick Chichester-Miles who are joining us remotely.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? Nick, did you have one?
I thought I did. Well, if we come on to it, it's a appeal letter at the end of the meeting relation to, but it's yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to declare one non-pecuniary, which is I am friends with the neighbours of 44 The Uplands. Caroline. I think we work at the food bank together, so that's it.
Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, on pecuniary.
Yeah. Any more? No. Okay, thank you. Are we happy with the minutes from the 13th of January?
Those.
We don't have chairman's report or any urgent items, Heather?
No, we don't need
Any public questions?
No, none have been received, Chair.
So if we go straight to number 6, which is, if we start with the Uplands first.
We will.
Just to note, we're going to go through applications registered week ending the 9th of the 1st, 16th of the 1st and 23rd of the 1st, 2026. If we go straight to the Uplands, 44 The Uplands.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just present the application and then I do have a speaker, this is Nikki Wilkes, who's wanting to speak against the application. Okay, so if I can draw your attention to page 36 in the agenda pack. And I will share on the street scenes for those in the room, but also for the benefit of the councillors who are joining us. Okay, so planning permission was granted in 2025 for the extension to the main house, the part single, part 2-storey front and rear extension. This application is the next phase of development on the site. The proposed attached garage has a 5.5 metre by 6 metre footprint with a ridge height of 4.5 metres and is positioned approximately 5.4 metres from the pavement. The positioning is 700 millimetres from number 46, the Uplands boundary. Strong residential objection has been lodged with the SADC online with concerns including effect on the street scene, removal of feeling of open aspect, positioning forward of the main building line, introduction of a detached garage when others are integral or attached, out of keeping with the existing street scene, obscuring of visibility when exiting number 44 The Uplands, and further items as well. Precedent for refusal of forward projecting or detached garages in the road was set with the refusal and dismissal of an application in 2019, which formed part of a wider development of the property. The reasons for refusal / dismissal being by reason of its scale, bulk, height and massing, and the forward projection of garage in a prominent location due to the curvature in the road, the proposal would appear unduly overbearing, would be detrimental to the character and appearance of this part of the Uplands. Given its footprint, height and siting in front of the proposed dwelling, the proposed double garage would appear prominent in the street scene, thereby unacceptably diminishing the spacious character and appearance of the area. So on the basis of the comments that have been received from residents and also from this application from 2019, my recommendation was for the committee to consider recommend refusal due to the siting of the proposed attached garage It presents a detrimental impact on the open nature of the street scene and creates an unacceptable loss of amenity and detrimental impact on number 46, the uplands. Policy ESD2 of the neighbourhood plan and policy 69 and 70 of the district plan affairs. So those are my observations. So if Mrs. Wilkes would like to present.
I'll hand these out now.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
There's just like
Just to show the positioning of the garage.
legible there, just to give you the dimensions written up.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Can I start? Get it over and done with.
Do. Yeah, please do.
Right, I'm Nicola Wilkes. I live at 37 directly opposite them. You probably know the construction of the property is well underway. The roof's on, the brickwork's pretty much complete already. So it seems to have been a huge oversight not to have included a large detached double garage in the original planning application. Only may I suggest that would have been categorically turned down by the planning committee. Without exception, all properties on the uplands have attached and or integral garages set well back from the road. And of the 24 redeveloped houses, not one has a separate structure in the front garden. And I'm talking about a large brick-built detached garage. By my accounts, 6 metres by 5.5 metres, 4.5 metres in height, nearly 15 feet, and only 3 metres from the pavement. Permitting this audacious application would have a hugely detrimental effect on the neighbourhood. It would effectively bury number 46 into a corner, cutting it off from the rest of the street. It would irrevocably destroy the openness of our cul-de-sac and set a precedent for future developments. There are no high walls or fencing in the front gardens, which are open to the road, which gives the neighbourhood a feeling of space. It is almost park-like. This very special cul-de-sac has the benefit of a beautiful natural environment, surrounded by a variety of trees, many planted over 50 years ago. We, the residents, are the beneficiaries and have enjoyed it over decades, bringing up our families and now our grandchildren. Equally important is the protection of wildlife that our environment supports. The bird life is exceptional due to the variety of trees, hedges and shrubs. Over 32 bird species occupy the landscape. We have bats, I hope they did a bat survey, herons, currently a nesting tawny owl, and occasionally a visiting kingfisher. I hope you're getting the picture. I'd like to point out that none of the immediate neighbours were notified about the plans for this development. No letters were received, and the first we knew of it was when the tree surgeons arrived and felled 33 trees. Perfectly healthy, mature trees came down one by one. It was a massacre. You'll have seen the report from In Touch Planning, the devastation this has already caused to the street scene. At the time of the original planning, Harpenham Council said, and I quote, "The committee have no objection to the proposed extensions. It does, however, express concerns over the loss of 7 trees." When planning was granted at District Council, and I quote, "A condition will be imposed to require the approval of landscaping to comply with policy ESD14 of the HMP. Given the above, the proposed development would not have an adverse effect on the street scene in accordance with policies 69, 72 and 74 of the local plan." I beg to differ. The applicant will be hard pressed to mitigate the loss of all these trees, but to propose a huge brick-built structure the size of a small house in no way constitutes landscaping and would only afford the street scene a massive brick wall. We hope that you'll see every justification in terms of planning, policies and neighbourhood opposition for an outright refusal of this application, both here and at district level. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Okay, now. Thank you. Does anyone have any, do you want to go through any of the other paperwork first?
No, not really. I think probably what's quite useful is to draw your attention to page number 22 and also page number 29 and 30 in the agenda pack, which were really useful photographic images to just kind of set the scene as to what the site is also currently looks like with the development in progress and essentially where the location of that garage is going to be positioned, which in the photograph on page number 22 essentially would be in sort of the proximity of where there's two darker panels of fencing. So
They haven't, have they started building it yet?
It's up.
Oh, the garage
so
is up.
no, the house.
The house. That's what I thought.
The house is up. Fortunately, I've kept an eye on.
But the planning,
Those
that
houses.
planning's all done and dusted for the house.
Yeah.
It's just this garage now
Yeah.
they want to put up, but they haven't started it.
No.
I want to have a look at this, given the fascination of the commentary that was given. Thank you for your comments. I mean, I think, yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, I would question why you're building a brand new property from scratch now, which is a very sizable property in its own right, and it didn't have an integral garage built within it. I think that makes questions, to be honest, and then to bring it along afterwards, because the resident is quite right. Every other house I could see on there, the garage was either appended to or actually integrated into the building, and none of them were brought forward against the street. So for those reasons alone, this is completely out of character and sync with the rest of the street. And I think for those reasons alone, I think that there are some very good additional reasons. I think that we should absolutely refuse the application.
If I may clarify, they were extensions to the existing house. It wasn't a whole new build, just to make it clear.
Pretty much it was. There was only
think
one
they left
wall.
one wall.
They left one wall.
For clarity, it wasn't a whole new build.
Well, it may not be, but it's virtually being rebuilt. You can actually,
Yeah.
if you look at it, you can see
There's
it.
only one wall left
Right.
when they started the build.
It was a virtual new build.
Sam, do you have anything?
I didn't know they'd cut down 30 trees.
33,
Wow,
Yeah,
every single one in the front garden.
extraordinary.
And the council worried about 7 that had been earmarked in the Arboretum report. They marked 7 that would go to facilitate the development. They took the lot, front and back.
so they've cleared the back as well of
Took the
trees.
back as well.
that's a lot. There's a lot of trees to have in your garden anyway, but to get rid of.
Well, we have 45 in ours and they're beautifully kept
Yeah.
and, maintained. But they were perfectly, maybe there were a few in poor condition and they had specified that 7 would be taken away. But it was a massacre. And it's the wildlife as well, it's the street scene. You can see from the photographs in the report, that has been obliterated. There's not a single tree left in that front garden. And our view in the future, if this goes ahead, will be half of a brick wall. Yeah, 4.5 metres high.
Thank you.
So I shut up.
Sam, no, it's fine. Sam, do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I agree with John's
You agree with
comments.
John? Fine. Alistair?
Yeah, I mean, I used to live in 12 the Uplands and used to back onto this from 17 Hammondswick.
All right.
So know the area quite well. I can't see a justification. For me, this is a typical Westcombe development, get maximum area,
Yeah,
square footage,
yeah,
and property for maximum valuation.
yes.
And it's easier to do with a garage that's not on the that maximizes the house volume.
Yeah. Very cunning plan.
I think it looks the doing it in 2 stages. I think you're absolutely right. It'd be very difficult to
And the
see.
fact that we were never informed of the planning application in the first place, letters apparently were set out, not one neighbour received a letter about this. The first we knew of it was when the tree.
If you compare with the ongoing one on Wheatfield Road and what was there, also quite difficult. I mean, I hope they're going to replace the 33 trees or the what's happened there, but I struggle to see why we would support it, to be honest.
Thank you. Nick? Do you have anything to add?
Not really to add, just completely agree. Yeah, it looks not very in keeping with the neighbourhood, and I won't repeat anything that most people have said, but I completely agree. It's a no from me. Yeah.
Thank you. Fiona?
Well, I completely agree too. And I think also the trees are a significant issue. And we should mention that in our remarks that we make if we're going to go for refusal. We particularly mention the trees.
And question, is this something that we should call in?
So which was going to lead me on to the question that I believe that there is certainly interest from residents for it to be called in. And I have been contacted this afternoon by Councillor Matt Cowley asking for the Town Council's recommendation after tonight. So I think that there is certainly appetite for it to be called in. I have shared with the residents how the process that you have to go through to do that. So I think, you know, that we'll probably be minded to say that we'll be willing to support a call in.
Yeah. Okay, so
Provided the district councillors also support that call in.
so everyone has said we should go with Heather's recommendation for refusal. Fiona suggested we add in the 33 trees into that. Are we all? Yeah, that. I think that's the
thing, it's to that carnage is.
Yeah.
Sorry, though, if I may, Heather,
Yeah.
trees aren't necessarily a planning basis. So if, as I understand it, so particularly for the purpose of this garage. So is there a risk that by including the trees within this comment, as opposed to a separate call-in, we actually undermine our position?
So trees are a planning matter, but the difficulty is I believe the trees were removed as part of the earlier planning
Previous
application as opposed to actually the application. So I think so that we don't muddy the waters in relation to the removal of those trees, I think that it's probably an enforcement matter that comes under the conditions of the previously approved application.
Yeah, I agree.
The difficulty is that I suppose with that is I believe that the extensions, if you could just clarify to me, I assume the extensions are still ongoing, are they, on site?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the developer will have the right to wait until the development has been completed to fulfil that particular condition. So I think it's probably a case of a watching brief as to when it's felt that the application has been completed for that particular element. And then if it's felt that the trees aren't replanted, that's when you can go in with enforcement action. But whilst it's still in action, there is time for that.
It wasn't a case in the previous application. They said they were only going to take down 7 trees and they've taken down 33.
Yeah,
So surely they're in breach of
Yeah.
their agreement, planning agreement, aren't they?
We always look at tree works and we've had no tree works applications.
so potentially there may have been tree work applications, but it's, you know, not it, we look at the tree work applications in relation to development that is, you know, before us, so we can only comment on what's been stated. So I think the fact that a condition is that a landscaping proposal will be put forward, that could include a number of trees.
Yeah, well,
As part of
hopefully
it.
it won't include the garage because that.
No, because of that, you know,
That's the, but
that
that's.
is a condition. So I think that probably it's a case of the tree element needs to come later. I can certainly make reference under this particular application that it's noted that a number of trees have been removed to enable this, this application to take place, and there has been no tree survey presented. I can certainly make reference to that under this, but
I think as important as any of that is the effect it would have on number 46.
of course,
Because
yeah.
it really cuts them off from the rest of the street, and it has a huge effect on them.
That is, I think that's, reflected in here, unacceptable loss of amenity and detrimental impact on number 46. Personally, if you are all amenable to it, I think we leave this comment without any reference to trees, and separately, we raise the trees problem and call that in.
Yeah, I think the tree thing will be something that we'll need to
Down the
wait
line.
for, because it becomes an enforcement matter. So you can only say that it's enforcement action needs to be taken when it hasn't been conducted. But if it's still in the process of being developed,
Okay.
then it's,
They can fulfill it.
yeah.
So my next question is, if we agree with that statement, we're going to pause on the trees till it's finished. Can I take a show of hands for calling it in, please?
Okay, no, that's
Yep.
fine. Yeah.
We'll do that then.
So, so just so that you're clear, so we will support that call in. But it needs to be instigated by a district councillor. So I've already believe we've got Councillor Matt Cowley's commitment to support the call in, but we do need a second district councillor. Okay, so we have
Well,
three.
I'm ready to do that.
Okay, Fiona.
Thank you,
Or,
Fiona.
or actually, maybe we ought to have another district councillor from Harpenden South.
Which is kind of what I was sort of,
That would be more appropriate, wouldn't it?
So if you're able to get the support of another South Ward
Thank you all to
councillor.
raise a heritage, I think.
Yeah, I'll drop them a text after this.
So I think what I'll do is I will, we've got a couple of days.
Yep.
Gents, I will prepare the paperwork myself because I usually do the calling form for them
Yep.
in readiness for when hopefully the second South Ward councillor comes forward. If they don't, Councillor Gaskell, if you're willing to support the call-in, come sort of Thursday afternoon, if I haven't got the support of another councillor, if you're willing to do that, that would be very useful.
Thank you, Fiona.
Okay,
Wow.
all right.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Appreciate
Good
it.
evening.
Let me just give you my phone number.
Right.
Those who keep in touch on this, if you just drop me a WhatsApp. And I'll give David a ring shortly after this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
So we'll jump to page 32 now. 5/2026/1976 does not meet the criteria for this evening's conversation, but 5/2026/2257 does, which is 7 Grasmere Avenue.
Okay, property sits on a plot that narrows to the rear due to its position on a curve in the road. The place is looking to over the footprint of the existing single garage and carport, extend to 2-storey level with a partial 2-storey and part single-storey extension across the rear. Due to the neighbouring property sitting on larger footprints, the extended rear building line falls in line with number 9 Grasmere Avenue. The extensions to the side of number 5 have been sympathetically designed to ensure the 45-degree visibility zone is not obstructed. The ridge height is not increasing, all right. The ridge height is not increasing, just further bulk and massing is added. Although it is in keeping with the host dwelling, there are varying bulk and styles of property in the street. The proposals will expand the open plan living accommodation at ground floor level and enlarge the existing bedrooms at first floor level. No additional bedrooms are added. Despite the loss of garage, there is ample parking provision on the frontage and no fee works, not conservation area, and I've said consider no objection, subject to no liability on the neighbouring properties. Policy ESG2 is a neighbourly plan and policy 72 of the district planning first. There is an objection online from Highways in their usual way, objecting to the additional curb. Okay, but that is standard.
I agree with Heather's comment.
Is everyone happy with that? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's 5/2026/2282, 2301, 2246, 2312 and 2237 will not be discussed this evening. And we now move to 5/2026/2342, which is 21 Ennis Close.
This application is essentially the same as the previously refused application, which was the application seeks to extend at ground floor in the same way as was approved in 2021. But at first floor, the proposal is now only looking to extend the side over the new ground floor element, but is no longer looking to extend across the rear at first floor level. Therefore, the scheme is less impactful with less bulk and massing than the approved application. This resubmission addresses the officer's concerns from the refused scheme by reducing the side extension, which in turn creates a 5-metre length driveway to enable off-street parking. I've said consider no objections, subject to the previous reasons refusal are deemed to have been addressed.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. 5/2026/2336, 2324 will not be discussed this evening, but 5/2026/2291, 39 Long Buffaloes will be.
Okay, the proposer is looking to extend to the front, side and rear. Both neighbouring properties' front building lines extend further forward than that of the existing host dwelling. However, the proposal does extend even further forward than these. The 45-degree visibility zone for number 37 Long Buffaloes has been shown as not obstructed. The front extension comprises to the side with number 37 a 2-storey extension extending across the front but stepped in at the central point, and a further 2-storey extension to the side with number 41, but smaller than the opposite side and stepped in from the ground floor element which extends down the side. To the rear, the existing bedrooms are to be extended over the existing ground floor rear element. In addition to the extensions, the ridge height is increasing from 7.5 metres to 8.5 metres, which is approximately 2.5 metres higher than number 37 and 400 millimetres higher than number 41, with Velux windows to the front and rear. This will provide 2 further bedrooms, which will total 5 across the property. The road is made up of a variety of style properties, many of which have undergone expansion or improvements. Garage. The garage and 2 off-street parking spaces are retained. No tree works and not conservation area. I've said consider no objections, subject to no detrimental impact on number 37 along buffers. Policy ESG2 of the neighbourhood plan and policy 72 of the district plan refers. Any? No objections.
No objections online?
Nope.
Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Yep, thank you. We'll now move on to 5/2026/2283, which is 11 Grange Court Road.
Okay, a similar application was considered by this committee in August 2025, which was subsequently withdrawn. This proposal presents with a different scheme. The main changes from the withdrawn application being a reduction in ridge height. Sorry, let's keep popping up on my screen. Sorry, reduction in roof ridge height, repositioning of the 2 front gable roof elements to be closer to number 11. Overall footprint of the new dwelling has reduced and first floor accommodation covers more floor space than the withdrawn scheme, but not to the detriment. Elements that remain the same are the proposed replacement dwelling is to be positioned further away from the boundary of number 9, with the first floor element stepped in over the garage, therefore creating further feeling of openness and space. The new scheme fits in well with the neighbouring properties. Other relevant information is the existing dwelling is a wide property which fills the plot from boundary line to boundary line. Sorry.
You don't come up on that. Oh,
Yeah, I had things popping up on my computer.
it
Hopefully.
might disappear.
It might disappear.
There's laptops restarting, so please hang in.
Yeah,
for us.
hang on in there. If it does disappear away. It probably, it won't, it will just be my computer, I think, perfectly.
Okay.
Sorry.
The ridge line.
The ridge line of the proposed dwelling is increasing by approximately 1 metre from the existing, but will be the same height as number 9. The design and materials appear to be in keeping with the style and character of the surrounding area, which is made up of a number of designs and size properties. Property sits in the Harpenden Conservation Area but is not locally listed, although both neighbouring properties are. A large garage shows full of cars inside is proposed with ample parking provision on the frontage. There's no tree removal works, although some additional tree planting is proposed. And I'd say consider no objection, subject to the proposed replacement dwelling being deemed a positive contribution to the Harpenden Conservation Area. Policy ESG2 of the neighbourhood plan and policy 69, 70 and 85 of the district plan refers.
Is everyone happy with that or any questions?
And one thing is, looking at the aerial plan, it's got like a little L shape that's really snug to the house. But it's not, is it semi, it's not semi, no, it's not.
No, it's the existing property is very, very close to
Yeah.
the neighbouring property, but the new proposal is actually drawing it further away from the boundary line.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look at the next one, Vicky, the red dotted line is the.
Oh, I see,
original
that's,
one.
oh, and you can see where the
Yes,
house
it is.
was.
They filled in the hole, but they.
Yeah, and below you can see the gap with the red dotted lines.
Mm.
Proposed.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that's where it was, yeah. Okay, cheers, thank you.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. The next one we've already discussed, which was 44 the Uplands. So now we will go, the following will not be discussed this evening, 5/2026/2199, 2330, 2322 and 2205. And also 5/2026 0021, 2366 and 2026 we're going to discuss now, which is 48 Park Mount.
just
That's
a
across
yeah,
pages.
just a second, I'm just going to see if I can. And put this back again. Apologies for that, because. restart my computer at just that point in time was far from ideal, to say the least.
It's Microsoft for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to just try and get it back, so it's always part of the recording. And sometimes it does that with no prior warning, it just says you're about to be shut, to be logged out, and you're like, no, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Outside, outside WC,
It needs a
old school.
upgrading.
School.
And it's not start reading. Right, sorry, where were we? So we are on to
37, bottom left, right at the bottom.
so number 48, Park Mount.
Yeah.
Proposes to demolish the existing side store stroke WC and linked garage, replacing with a 2-storey side extension and single-storey rear extension across the rear. In addition, it is proposed to build in the roof space to provide a master bedroom with ensuite and storage. There will be a total of 4 bedrooms across the property. The road slopes downwards, therefore any potential impact on 50 Park Mount, which sits on high ground from the proposed 2-storey extension, has been removed, as well as the single garage sited between the 2 properties. The single-storey rear extension sits in line with the neighbour's rear building line at number 46. The road is made up of a selection of size and style properties, of a similar design and form as is proposed. The single replacement garage is added to the scheme. With this, there is parking provision for 2 cars off street. No tree works and not conservation area, and I've said consider no objection.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we move on now to 5/2026/2300, which is 22 Hyde View Road.
Back again. Right, the proposal is to add an extension to the rear, which is mostly 2-storey, except for a section that is single-storey to ensure the 45-degree visibility zone for number 24 is not impacted. This extension will enable expansion of the kitchen, the ground floor bathroom to be relocated to 1st floor, and the moving of one of the bedrooms to facilitate the space of the relocated bathroom. Also proposed is a small porch which will relocate the front door from the side of the property to the front. Not conservation area and no tree work. Property does not have any off-street parking provision. Parking is on street, so I said consider no.
Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Thank you. So 5/2026/2298, 2349 do not need to be discussed this evening. 5/2026/0019 70 Meadway.
Okay.
Up next.
The proposal is solely to increase the ridge height of the property with the addition of roof lights and rear dormer windows, provide accommodation in the roof space, which is 2 bedrooms with storage and a bathroom. The ridge height is to increase by 650 millimetres. The roof design does not differ vastly from the existing, apart from the crown is more extended, with the addition of roof lights at the front, which are visible in the street scene. The road character is made up of a variety of style properties sat on spacious plots. The road has a slight curve at this point, therefore angling the neighbouring property slightly further away, although no additional bulk or massing is being added to the footprint. No tree works, ample parking provision on the frontage and in retained garage, not conservation area, considered no objection.
Any comments?
No.
Thank you. 5/2026/2352 is 30 Aldwick Road.
The proposal is to extend at ground floor level to the side of the existing flat roof rear projecting element, which projects 4.7 metres across the full width and at 1st floor level across the proposed rear extension, but only by 3 metres. This falls in line with the rear boundary number 28 Aldwick Road. Therefore, there should be no detrimental impact on them from the 1st floor element. There's no increase in bedrooms, just size. The property is the last in the road with the rear garden number 58 Wheat Hampstead Road to the side. Therefore, there is no impact on the property to the other side. No tree works, ample parking provision for garage on frontage, and with garage and on the frontage, not conservation area, considered no objection.
Any comments? No. Thank you. 5/2026 0006 will not be discussed this evening, and we have 5/2026 2277 12 Gordon's Walk.
Property is the left-hand side of a pair of semi-detached properties. The proposal is to add a rear extension across the full width at ground floor and partially across at first floor level, therefore providing clear access to the visibility zone for number 13 Gordon's Walk. Number 14 is set further back on the plot, therefore the proposed first floor extension will pose no impact on them. Proposals will expand the ground floor living accommodation, extend an existing bedroom and add another at first floor, which will be 4 bedrooms in total. As proposed, also proposed is a garage conversion to habitable accommodation. Following removal of the garage, it's believed will leave just one parking space to serve a 4-bedroom house, but there appears to be communal parking bays available in the street. Consider no objection.
Any comments on that? The only thing that flagged to me was parking. Don't know that area at all.
Yeah, there are communal bays in the streets. The difficulty is that we could flag about the parking thing, but the district council don't seem
No.
to have. Yeah.
No, I know they don't, but more from
Yeah.
we care just because they
Exactly.
doesn't mean we should
District
automatically
council don't care
assume it.
about parking.
Who knew?
Okay, so we're all fine with that one.
Yep.
Lovely. So 5/2026 2350. We are now 10 to 12 Station Road.
The site is the rear of shops in Station Road in a courtyard stroke parking area for the shops in the vicinity. Planning Commission has granted in 2023 for an outbuilding adjacent to the extension site. This proposal is looking to extend to the side of an existing single-storey rear projection and add a first floor above a whole rear projection. The ground floor addition will serve as an office, and the first floor extension will create a 2-bedroom flat. Much development has happened to the rear of the shops in this stretch of Station Road over time, which has resulted in all manner of extensions, additions and designs. Due to Station Road being on a hill, the proposed development site sits lower than the adjacent rear buildings. Currently, just the roof of the rear projection is visible above a close board fence. Therefore, the proposed first floor addition will be less visible than would normally be the case with first floor extensions. Neighbouring shops and residential units are sufficiently far away to not be impacted by the proposal. There are no windows proposed to the rear. 3 trees for screening are to be planted, which formed part of the proposal for the approved outbuilding in 2023. Despite there being no allocated parking for the proposal site, there is available parking within the site. There now appears to be a precedent set for parking-free development in the town centre in recent times, being in Leighton Green and at 16 High Street. The area is in the conservation area and the shops in Station Road near to the site are locally listed. I so consider no objections, subject to the appropriate design and use of materials in the conservation area. Policy ESD2 of the neighbourhood plan, policy 69, 72 and 85 of the district plan.
Any concerns or comments on that one?
There's nothing online from anyone.
So what bit they're going to use it for?
So yeah, so the ground floor bit is going to be, so the existing ground floor
Yeah.
with a little bit of an extension is going to be an office, and above that is a 2-bedroom flat.
Cool. Lovely. So the last 3 will not be discussed tonight, but just to cover them, 5/2026 0049 0039 0028. So that's it for planning applications. Then appeals.
Yeah, so I think we've got a few actually. So the first one of them is an appeal decision, which is for 14 West Common Grove. And this one has actually been dismissed, but we didn't actually have a problem with it. So, yeah, it was basically dismissed due to it being kind of, in a sense, not compatible with in the conservation area due to the change in design.
Okay.
So,
I don't remember this one. Do you have a picture of it?
yeah. It's sort of, it's the bungalow, which was going to become quite contemporary looking.
It is all quite traditional down there.
I think we must have said no objection to.
We had no objection to it.
And the district said,
So the district, yes, so the district refused it due to it basically being incompatible with the conservation area, which the, I was gonna say, I did have a few.
Gates with piers and front hedging. So hang on, but the appeals.
Right, here we go. I've got it here, so this hopefully will,
Of our memories.
yeah.
Oh, fashion.
I see.
Yeah, full screen. Presentation mode down there. It's behind your, it's behind your.
Behind this thing.
No, it's the left,
Harsh.
you know, the little, that one there.
There's a bit, because
It's when you,
it's not,
when you actually read it, it says that it's minor impact, but therefore a different part of the framework applies. And because it neither preserves nor enhances, the appeals dismissed. That's a really harsh.
So this is,
We need to see what the proposal.
so that's what they were proposing to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's-
So it was kind of, so that's the original,
yeah.
which if I just scroll back. Next door to it, so in a sense, it's kind of feels a little bit like,
Launch, Mag.
so, yeah, so that's existing.
Yeah,
That's what the neighbour is to the left.
yeah.
Which is in a sense why we probably said. what we
Yeah.
That's why we said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
remember that.
The footprint really isn't actually changing dramatically.
It's just gone off a bit.
This appeal is so weird when you read it.
I think they'll reappeal, but anyway.
Well, you probably just resubmit an application with slightly different.
Yeah.
It is quite different in character, isn't it?
Well, I suppose not. generally,
But not to next
not
door.
to next
We
door.
can compare it to next door though.
but if you also look at what's existing there, it's not exactly in character down that road either.
Well, that's not very pretty either.
Okay,
And the next one we have is 27 Porter's Hill.
yeah, so that one.
They got
So
it
that
granted.
one was granted and we actually didn't comment on that one because it was too small. Yeah,
Okay.
sharing this other one.
What was one?
Right, so the next two are just notifications that they are going to appeal. So number 8 Hawthorne Close and the other one is at 15 Swansea Avenue. So we would obviously wait to see what the officer comes back with that.
And either of those two that we've raised as issues or?
So I can't remember actually. I don't think
we
so.
did on
Hawthorne
15.
Close, I'm not sure that we actually looked at that one.
Well, I can say we didn't because that's the one that I know.
Okay, yeah, so we didn't, but based on the description, it feels to me as if it doesn't fulfil the criteria for consideration. And then the Swansea Wood, so the Swansea Avenue one, we did.
We definitely
Actually,
saw the
yes, we did, yes. Yeah, so I don't think we had a problem with that one.
No, I mean, it
actually.
needs
No.
a lot of work doing to it.
But, wow, with sufficient information that there would not be an unacceptable loss of life.
Okay, and then moving on to the tree works is literally just one in Harpenden and the SID, and then in the district council decisions, a couple that I wanted to just draw your attention to, which was if you can remember, share this so that the others can see it.
The Batford Road one.
This one.
Mm.
It's an instant classic. The decision on that then.
Okay, so this one, which was 6 Brackendale Grove, if you can remember that what they were proposing to do is to ultimately is to extend at the front to like at the front.
Yeah,
and we were
yes.
concerned, yeah, we were concerned basically about the forward projection
Yeah.
and the effect on number 4 and number 8
Yeah.
from it, and it has been refused.
Okay.
Basically, they stated it was refused due to the repetitive character and style of the streets, that it was going to have
How's that?
basically
Yeah.
break that
Yeah.
and change the view for that. The other one which I wanted to draw your attention to find it, which was one that was quite a long time ago.
Remember
You
this?
remember this one for Common Lane,
Yeah.
where we had two applications, so one and then they kind of resubmitted with some minor tweaks.
It was on the property they didn't own, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
This was the one with 0.04 units of biodiversity that was being lost. Do you remember? And they had
No,
to-
I just remember it wasn't on his, he was asking for planning
Yeah.
permission. He didn't own the land. He was
Didn't
asking.
own the garden yet, did they?
but that's been granted.
Oh,
I'm surprised.
Didn't buy the land now.
Whatever arrangement he needs to come to.
I think it's an old lady though, isn't it?
She don't want to, yeah.
She doesn't want
And
to.
then
but
lastly,
if he
just
bullies.
to confirm that the public halls, the sort of the minor tweaks and changes that they've proposed, that has been given permission to.
Brilliant.
And that was it. And to draw attention to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Date of the next